So, Ashley, one of the reasons why I wanted to start this podcast was because I wanted to share some of my humorous, honest life stories with everybody out there.
And how your life's one big fart joke.
Yeah, kinda. I mean, for real, this week has been one of those great weeks that is ending badly for me. For some reason,
I mean, we still got, essentially we
yeah.
got 3 days left.
Yeah. Because, well, we're going to publish this first thing in the morning. And so I've had a shitty week, literally.
Literally shitty.
Literally. It's been bad. So I started off the week pretty great. We started off the week on a high note. I did a interview with my favorite podcaster this last weekend, and we shared that on Monday, and it got a great response, and I had a lot of fun doing it. So that was really exciting. But I was going through some tummy troubles all week long, and finally something broke loose today. And I was in the bathroom all freaking day today, and I didn't have any energy. I'm still in my pajamas. I've obviously taken a shower today.
I'm in my pajamas too.
Yeah. Hey, that leads me into one of the stories that I wanted to share with everybody, because
Except I'm not hanging out outside.
so one of the issues that we've talked about is how some of my neighbors I know really well, and some of them I don't. And I called the old man across the street an asshole because anytime I've ever tried to get to know him or wave at him or whatever, he just doesn't. He just scowls at me. And I figure maybe I've pissed him off or something. We've lived here for a long time. Well, the other day, Rocket and I were out, and we were outside, and we were hanging out and playing around, and the neighbors were outside, and Rocket forced me into an awkward social situation. So Rocket and I were out there, and he started talking to the neighbor across the street. Jan is her name. And we were talking, him and I were talking, and he was hollering across the street to the neighbor. And so I was like, Rocket, come on, he's putting me in he put me on the spot. Essentially, here I am in my pajamas, and so that I made a joke that me and the neighbors were going to call ourselves the Pajama Brigade because me and my elderly neighbors go outside and hang out in our pajamas.
Yeah, the lady next door, she always brings the dog out in her moo-moo or nightgown or whatever.
Nightgown.
Like it could be like 2:00 in the afternoon, and she's in her nightgown.
And she's social. She'll
Yeah.
wave at us, she'll wave at the other neighbor. I see her going across the street in her nightgown all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, she used to go over there when their daughter lived with them, and they would go together in their nightgowns and walk the dog in the park.
So Rockin' and I were outside, and he's talking to the neighbor across the street, and I was like, well, okay, well, they're deep in conversation. Well, I'm going to walk him over there. And I went over there. The first time in 10 years, I walked over there, and I introduced myself, and they're actually really wonderful people.
Yeah, she's really nice. Like, Rocket talked to her 2 or 3 weeks before he made you go over there, and like he climbed on her porch and he asked if he could hug her.
Yeah.
And all kinds of stuff. And so like they hit it off right then and there. So
this is a real life story about how awkward things can be, and I wanted to share this with you guys because I found it funny as it was happening, and it was the craziest thing because we went over there and we were talking to her. She's really nice, Jan, and out comes Bill, her husband, the old man that I called an asshole on the podcast. And I'm sorry, Bill, you're a wonderful guy, but
But your pajama shorts are a little too short.
Hey.
Because you're a tall fella.
I didn't say anything, but he did come out in really short shorts. But so I was talking to Bill, and he's a really wonderful guy, and I introduced myself, told him I apologize. I've been here for 10 years, never came over and introduced myself, and he never said anything bad about why he doesn't wave or anything. Like ever since then, he's been waving at me.
Yeah, I think he's a veteran too.
And that's pretty awesome because I knew our neighbor next door, George. He's a Vietnam veteran.
Well,
And
he's got like a sticker on his truck or either their van.
I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't really, I didn't really even pay attention that he had a sign in his yard until you said something. I was like, oh, okay, well, that makes
Yeah.
sense now.
Yeah.
But
I mean, his daughter's still an asshole. Let's just put that out
I,
there.
I will say that. But she lives, so she bought a house up the street. So she's just like 5 houses down, 6 houses down, something like that. So we're all in the neighborhood together.
We're the cool people though down at the dead end.
Yeah.
Like the 3 houses at the dead end are the cool people in the neighborhood.
So we'll call ourselves the Pajama Brigade. I can't say that correctly for some reason. Brigade. But
I feel like the cutoff mark is the 4th house up because that's where it like starts to go down the hill.
yeah.
You know, because the 4th house up is the young couple that just bought the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
that's
past that, we're all old.
right. Yeah. There's
I mean, we're
us
we're
on
the
dead
youngest.
end. Right. There's us on the dead end. And then there's our neighbor next to us, a neighbor across the street, and then a house next to our neighbors is an older lady that lives there as well. But so we just look like a bunch of old people just sitting out on our lawns
In our pajamas.
in our pajamas all the time. And so that's real. I don't have to dress up all fancy to go out and hang out in the yard. Like
All of you are obsessed with your yards.
First, yes. Let's talk about the yard. Okay, shall we talk about the yard? So that also started off my week bad, because so Ashley wanted me to teach Sully how to mow the lawn, and I was putting it off because I didn't want to do it.
You know what? I mean, he's gonna be 15 in a few months. Like I was mowing grass.
I know.
With a Farmall tractor that had a brush hog on it when I was
with
like
the
10.
With the way that yard looks, and that's why I don't allow them to mow my lawn, because I want it to look nice, and I'm tired of chewing their ass, and this is why they do it, because they know that if they do it wrong enough, I'll be like, just let me do it.
Yeah, that's kind of the point I got to when Sully was mowing around the pine tree out there.
Yeah.
I was like, or what is it? Is it no? Yeah, it's pine. Because here he was like trying to push the mower and like hold the branches out of the way.
Yeah.
With the other hand, and I'm like, no, like just give it to me. Because he's like, Mom, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do this. And I was like, just get to a point where you can go back and forth.
So
under it ain't got to be in any certain pattern underneath the tree.
He's 15 and he's not dumb. Like, he's not dumb. And I think, so that's the reason why I didn't want to teach him how to do it, is because he stands out there and you can show him how to do something 5 times and then he'll mess it up on purpose just so he doesn't have to do it, just so we'll get frustrated enough to send him away.
Well, then, like, I let him mow beside the garage over by the air conditioner by himself. Like, I told him, like, hey, this needs mowed. Mow around the pole. And so I'm sitting there, in the chair, and I hear a scream. And so what do? I instantly get up and run over there thinking, like, he's ran. He's like, there was a bug. And I'm like, oh, my gosh. So that's probably why I didn't want to mow underneath the tree. He's afraid of bugs.
And so this is why the show is called Coffee with a Bearded Bad Dad. I am not a perfect dad, and there's just some things that I'm not good at. And articulating things to our 14, almost 15-year-old son is not my strong suit. I can do it with the other children, just not this one, because I don't want to be mean to him, because I don't know for sure it's an act. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to scar the kid if he's, if the world, this is when I say the world needs ditch diggers too, is because I don't know any other way. I'm like, okay, I understand he's got to learn how to mow the lawn, but he can sit and watch and observe for a few times and let me show him the proper way to mow the lawn, because I think the problem is that he wasn't paying attention to what you were saying. He was wanting to get it done.
Well, and I was trying to show him, like I did 3 swipes. I said you can either go forward and then backwards, or you can turn it around. Like watching him try to turn the push mower.
I know. I was watching.
Like, what are you doing? And then like I was trying to teach him how to like
Why do you
start
think
it.
why do you think I wanted to do my portion first and let you guys?
I was trying to teach him how to start, and I said, "Hey, you got to prime it, 3 times," and it says times 3 over here,
Excuse me.
and then like pull the cord. I said, "Yeah, pull this handle down, and then pull the cord." And I mean, he's a big kid,
Right.
but that cord looked like it was going to wing him back into the mower. Like he couldn't even like get it, and I'm
my
like,
goodness. See, and
I said, "Give it to me," and so I pulled it, and it started. Well, then later on when we were mowing, I had him shut it off because I was like chewing his rear end about like, hey, like you're not even paying attention.
Right.
And so then he goes to start it again, and he pulls it, and it starts, but then he goes to pull the string again, and I'm like,
Well, it's already started, son.
The priming 3 times, he thought he had to pull the string 3 times. So it's like, yeah.
Now, he's watched us start equipment before. It's not like he hasn't saw these things. And it's not like look, there's lawnmowers in movies.
I'm going to make him watch a YouTube video.
I'm telling you, I told you we should make him watch a safety video at least because I feel bad.
Well, yeah, because when he was mowing underneath the swing set, here Rocket is on the horse, and he's just going, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
And he was trying to go in a pattern underneath the swing.
Yeah.
And I was like, you can't. Like, you just can't. Like, you just
gotta
move this
go
stuff.
one direction.
I said, you can push it out of the way with the mower. It's fine.
Yeah.
And that, he's like, I don't think I'm any good at this. And I was
Well,
like,
no, that's what you got to practice for. I mean, obviously, that's where I'm getting at. Like, I have no patience with this one. And I have all the patience in the world with the little one. I was less patient with his older brother, but I got results.
Well, I told him, I said, Caleb's going to be very disappointed that you can't take over the family business. Like,
And I don't know, like we can tell that story in just real quick. That's a real short story, but Caleb, we were in the kitchen and he was discussing with Sully about taking over the family business. And we're just confused because there literally was no family business at that time. Like I have a business now, but it's our business, not a family business.
I think they were like 10 and, well, they had to be like 10 and 14, 11 and 14, something like that, because they were doing dishes when they were having the discussion about the family business.
And then, one of us, I can't remember which one of us was, piped up and said, what's the family business? And he said, mowing lawns. And now at this time, that kid didn't know how to mow a lawn either. And I'm not too entirely sure he does now. He wasn't doing that good of a job when I was paying him to do it.
Yeah.
But at least it was getting done. And I mean, the front yard looked nice.
Well, and back then, like, we didn't own this place and you didn't care about what the yard looked like.
I don't care. I do care now, and that's weird because we've lived here for a long time. I didn't really care, if the front walk was edged or not.
Yeah.
But now I got to go out there and do it every week because like that neighbor peer pressure is real. Like I feel safe going out in my neighborhood in my pajamas because I know that I feel so safe. And my neighbors like Joanne and Jan, they come out in their pajamas all the time. It makes me feel less bad and self-conscious about going out. As a matter of fact, you took a picture last week or 2 weeks ago it was now of me. So I was trying to walk my cat. I'm trying to train my cat how to walk on a leash, which is so stay-at-home dad summer shenanigans. I'm telling you what. So I'm trying to teach my cat how to walk on a leash. And I mean, he's doing pretty good. I got to get a harness that fits him better because he likes to run around. And I got to get a longer leash because the leash isn't too long.
I like how when he gets to the grass, though, he just lays down.
Well, and he likes to jump up and catch bugs out there. The lightning bugs. He goes nuts
at night,
over them.
he would like love.
Oh yeah, he goes nuts over that kind of stuff. But so I'm out there in my pajamas walking my cat, and I got my two neighbors outside, and they're in their pajamas. One of them's got their dog, and the other one's just sitting on the porch enjoying the weather.
Yeah.
Like it was hot today. Like it was hot today. Like it wasn't, the temperature wasn't so bad. It was so humid that it felt really hot. It felt hotter than what it was. I woke up at 7 o'clock this morning with a leg cramp, and I jumped up out of bed and I had to go to the bathroom. So I was getting ready to go to the bathroom. I looked over at Rocket and he pokes his head up and he's got his sunglasses on, which means he's been awake for a couple minutes at least.
Well, when he went to bed last night, he had the sunglasses and he put them beside the bed by his tablet or whatever.
He had to be awake long enough to reach over and grab them sunglasses.
Yeah,
So.
he thinks they're glasses.
That's fine. It's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I looked over at 7 o'clock this morning. I was like, oh, I feel horrible. I've been up all night. Leg cramps is killing me. So I called you and I was like, you bring me a banana or some tonic water or something. I got cramps.
Yeah.
And
I mean, at least when you woke up, your coffee was hot.
oh yeah, like it was right after you left, so it was like steaming hot. It was glorious.
Yeah.
Like, and you know what I said? I said, damn, that's good coffee.
Yeah.
I think I've got the summertime blues, man. I think that's what was wrong with me earlier in the week. Just from Sunday on, I'm wore out. I'm burnt out. I'm tired of you going to work all the time.
I'm tired of going to work all the time.
Shoo. It's
Like I was thinking today, like, man, I need to take vacation. Like I haven't really I'm trying to think the last time I took days off was it when school got out? I took off a few days, I think.
I think
I don't remember.
I think you did take a couple days off there at the end of school for Rocket's birthday.
Yeah.
And then for Rocket's birthday. So, yeah, I think so. And before that, it'd been a long time. We haven't been on vacation in like 2 years. And we keep meaning to take some of these trips that we plan out. We still haven't been to the Cosmosphere yet. And that's only 4 hours down the road. We haven't been there yet. We've been so dang busy.
We have zoo tickets.
Yeah, zoo tickets.
Yeah.
We were
Mustangs tickets.
We planned to go to the zoo this weekend, but we're not gonna go because it's so hot and like it's forecasted to be like 96 degrees on the day that we want to go. However, we're one of our people in our party. We don't want to get all hot and worn out and bothered or anything like that. So we're gonna cancel it and go next week. But
Well, I thought about, going to the zoo in the middle of the week because then it's not as busy.
so I wonder if anybody like, so I have really bad ADHD and that affects my ability to schedule stuff.
Like next Wednesday, kids don't have school. Well, kid doesn't have school.
Like
the 19th.
I know that I'm supposed to schedule stuff out and it will help. I know that, but I can't, like, for whatever reason, I told you I get that decision freeze. What is that decision freeze? I get to these points, I get so anxious that I can't pull the trigger on a schedule, like, because my schedule affects everybody else's schedule and I kind of need input from everybody else to see what my schedule is. And then I ask you, and I already know what the hell your schedule is because it's been the same for so long. But then, like, the boys, they should be on a schedule of their own, and keeping track of all that in my head, it's dang near impossible. And then I got calendars that I don't use, but I found Google Calendar. And so on the Zoom for the podcast, I have to use the Zoom to schedule meetings, and Zoom wanted to connect to my Google Calendar. And then when it connected to the Google Calendar, it, like, everything started lighting up. And I was like, got appointments on this day, appointments on that day. And I was like, where did all this come from? Like, apparently my Google Calendar wasn't synced to anything. And like, I was keeping track of everything on a calendar. Like, you would send me a calendar, whatever. It was keeping track of it, but I wasn't getting the notifications.
Yeah, because I would just send it through text. Well, no, because I would save it in my calendar, my Samsung calendar, and then you can share it, and then I'd share it with you, and it would say as a calendar
like your
file.
calendar updated into mine, and then I could see.
So yeah, it would put it on your Samsung calendar.
Yeah, and so that was pretty neat when that happened. I was like, "Hey, look at that! I figured something out."
Yeah.
So I'm gonna work on building a schedule, and I don't know if people out there have difficulties building schedules or sticking to a schedule or having a schedule. I know it would work out better if I did have a schedule and a routine. I just for the last year or so, I haven't been able to train myself to get into a routine. What's going on with that?
Maybe, I don't know, maybe it would help if it was like a written schedule. Like you could see like a month, like say you had like a whiteboard
Yeah.
and you could write.
I think that would work, but then I'm too lazy to write on it.
Oh, jeez.
Like, now that I got all that fancy calendar shit in my phone,
Oh, well, you have a stylist.
I do. I can just,
Yeah.
that's pretty neat. So
It'll even take your writing if you write it out, and it'll transform it into like typing.
that's another reason why I had a bad week this week. My damn phone broke.
Yeah.
And I had to wait for a new one. Oh my gosh, that made me realize how addicted to my phone I really am. I was like, holy crap, my phone's broken and I can't use it. And I kept trying to use it, and it kept frustrating me because like part of it would work and part of it wouldn't. It'd take me an hour to write a text message. But I was like, beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
Oh man, it felt like I was
Sick.
back in the Stone Ages, but I went and got me. So they didn't have one I wanted on at the store, so I ordered this online. I had to wait for it to be mailed to me, but it's the new Galaxy. Oh, look at that! It's the Galaxy S24 Ultra, and I don't even know any. Like, it's so fancy.
Do you have the same amount of cameras I have?
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, it's the same phone.
Oh.
It's just
But
a
yours has
different color.
got more memory.
Yeah, so I wanted the 500 and whatever 500 gigabyte memory or whatever, and so that's what I asked the guy up there at the store, and he said they didn't have it, and then he's like, well, your best bet would be to look online, and I almost hung up on him, and I was like, oh, okay, thank you, because that's not. It's not the answer I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear, yeah, I've got one right here.
Yeah.
But they didn't have it. So I had to wait 3 days and realized I need to stay off my phone. Like, I need to leave that thing alone
Yeah.
because it's running my life and it's not great. 'Cause one of the things I wanted to share with everybody is honest life. It's been a terrible week for me. I wanted to have a little bit of honest conversation about like pajamas, wearing them outside the house and getting to know your neighbors and stuff. But it's going to be a short one tonight because I'm really tired. I don't feel good. We do have a couple great shows coming up. I've got a friend coming in tomorrow to record for Monday's podcast. We're doing I don't even want to spoil it. I'm excited about it. A family friend I've known for years. I'm really excited that she wanted to come be on the show and talk about what we're going to talk about, and it's going to be a good one. And at the end of the month, I've still got that interview that we're doing with Autism and Entertainment. I'm pretty excited about that. Would you don't link anything in the description, but make sure you put in the description that we talked about autism and entertainment in the show, because I want to give those guys a huge shout out. I'm like doing some research on autism and entertainment, and I'm speaking with I've got an appointment with Marlene Sharp to do an interview for an hour, and then her friend is working, her colleague is working with Autism Entertainment, and we've got at the end of the month an interview scheduled, and I'm gonna ask them some good questions. But more than that, I just want to talk about like I do want to talk about some of the, how we don't want people to treat our kids special, but yet we do.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, that's a weird thing. Like, I do want them to treat him normal, but acknowledge that he is
Right. That's what I was
different.
going to say. Yeah. Acknowledge that he is neurodivergent and not neurotypical. So.
Right. I do want him treated the same but different. Then that's kind of an oxymoron, right? I mean, or a catch-22, damned if you do, damned if you don't. So I'm doing some research into these guys, and it's actually a really cool thing that they do. They hook up with lots of people with neurodivergency, and they help them get into the careers that they want to get into, and it's amazing. They do a great job. So I'm going to talk to them at the end of the month, and also I'm trying to get some things planned out with some theme park operators. I want to try to talk to some theme
You're
parks.
a theme park operator.
Hey, if you if you operate rides at a theme park, I'll talk to you, but you got to get your company's permission before you can talk to me. So I don't want anybody getting fired, because I think that working at a theme park would be one of the coolest, except for except for the big one.
I bet the pay's not that great.
Yeah, I bet the pay's not that great either, but I think it is okay in Florida. I think Florida's theme parks and California's theme parks pay decent. I'm not so I'm probably going to get corrected on that. So, and if I do, like, correct me, like we'll have a conversation. I don't know for sure, but I would think that they pay pretty decent based on,
Maybe because they're all year long rather than seasonal.
Yeah. Yeah, and that does make a huge difference on hours and like availability and stuff like that. And it's not just young kids; people have careers there.
Yeah.
So, and it's pretty exciting. I would do that job. I would love that job. Like, I would be like, could you imagine Worlds of Fun? You'd get free admission all the time.
Like, I could already see you like operating the Mamba.
Yeah,
the little sayings they say before they send you.
Yeah, and I would have to make up my own though, because theirs are kind of boring.
Yeah. I can't even think of it now what they say.
Well, they have that ripcord, and on that thing they say 3, 2, 1, flyers fly, and that's kind of vanilla. It's kind of bland and boring. But yeah, we're trying to put together something. I'm reaching out, and I'm trying to get some answers, get some interviews. So far, I've not heard anything back yet, but with these places, normally they do send a response back either way. So I am expecting a response. I've just now sent them out, so it's not that big of a deal. And even if I don't get a response, it's okay, because like, I love talking about lots of different things, and theme parks is just one of them. Like, we love theme parks. I love, like, we sit in there and watch YouTube all the time on just roller coasters and stuff. So yeah. I definitely want to talk to some theme park operators. I'm trying to work on a couple interviews for the Made in America series that got lost in the teen episodes, but we're going to try. We're still working on that. I'm still trying to find people that can talk to me and without the fear of losing their jobs. And like, I want people to be honest. I want this show to be a platform where people can be themselves. And that doesn't necessarily mean you have to talk shit on your job.
Right.
But you do have to be mindful of what you say so you don't get fired. And I think that that makes people a little nervous. And like,
and not necessarily like, people talking about their employer. Like,
yeah,
we just want them to talk about the job they do.
I absolutely. I want to talk about manufacturing. I want to talk about building roads, building things. I love people that build America, man. I really do. And I want to talk to you guys. So hit me up. If you guys build America, you guys know where to find us. We put the email in the description, and we'll go from there. But anyway, I think we've rambled on for a little bit. We've given a little bit of update and another Pajama Friday. So we'll see you guys next week. We got a lot of things planned. Stay tuned.
Bye.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. I like that. Bill O'Reilly. Now he's